Good morning, everybody. Today's Thursday. Now, you know I always make my sports videos, right? So today we're gonna try to do half and half. It's a new experimental thing that I'm gonna try out with both my sports channels. We're still gonna be talking about professional basketball, the NBA, professional football, the NFL. But I got like at least four conversations from my dad, and he was like, if you're gonna be making sports channels here on YouTube, my dad was trying to tell me behind the scenes, if you want to get to know your fan base and your audience at 100% and not at 70 to 75%, but if you want to get to know your audience at 100%, you need to talk about all sports. So we're going to put two baseball games on here. I know a lot of y'all be like, but you talk about basketball and football 80 to 85% of the time. I understand that. I'm not very good at talking about baseball games. I'm not good at it because when I watch the LA Dodgers, that is one of my favorite baseball teams. They have won two or three championships. They did go to the World Series three times that I've actually watched. But during the seasons when they lose and they don't go to a World Series, it becomes a jinx. Like I jinxed the team. Like the team do real good, and then I turn on the TV and then the Dodgers lose. Even though I'm a diehard LA Dodgers fan, you might be like, that's cold blooded. Like you like the baseball team, but when you watch the baseball team, they lose. When they don't lose, they win. So it's kind of funny how that happens. But that's not the point. The point is, I'm going to do basketball games first, and then I'm going to do the baseball games second. If you guys like me liking talking the breakdown of baseball, I will know because you will either put in the comment section, you know what you're talking about. Oh no, man, don't talk about no baseball, man. And like I said, it's not my greatest strength. Basketball, football, hockey, boxing, wrestling, martial arts, those are my favorite sports. You know, NASCAR, not so much. Nothing against NASCAR. I loved it as a kid, and as a teenager, as an adult, I just couldn't connect with NASCAR no more. Baseball, it's like on and off. I'm on and off with baseball. So try to understand. Try to think of this positive. Because if you guys like baseball, I will talk about baseball. You guys like soccer, I will talk about soccer. My dad was like, you need to change up your content. And if you're going to talk about basketball and football, talk about all sports so you can see which ones the audience like and which ones the audience don't like. It's too early for me to predict the NBA playoffs. They don't start until August 17th. And if I was to do those videos today, then people would actually think the NBA playoffs are starting Friday or Saturday. It don't start until August 17th. And plus, they have to reveal which teams are going to face each other in the first round in the Western Conference. I'll do the teams on Friday because it'll be closer to when that date comes. Then we'll do another video on Saturday or Sunday night because, again, it will be real close to August 17th. I don't want to do them too early and then people be like, man, the playoffs ain't here yet. There's still games being played Friday, today, and tomorrow. So it's like, still got to finish out the season. I don't want to do the videos and we still have a season in play. It doesn't feel right when you do that. Because then people be like, the season ain't finished. So this one right here is going to be the Kings versus the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I know a lot of people are concerned because the Lakers have lost the last two or three games headed towards the end of the NBA season, and it's because that's a lot of basketball to play. That's when it comes to finishing the NBA season, it's never easy. Even if you have the best record and the best players, it's never easy finishing a season. You might lose two or three, but then there's that concern if you lose too many games in the season, then people will be scratching their head like, is that going to carry over into the playoffs? Sometimes it does carry over into the NBA playoffs, and sometimes it doesn't. To me, this seems like a game that the Lakers should actually win. It's the Kings. Now the Kings is very competitive. I mean, they're not going to the NBA playoffs, but this team is gonna try to make a strong statement. They're not just gonna sit back and just be defeated because the Lakers got the number one spot in the West and the Kings ain't going to no playoffs. I call this a statement basketball game because the Kings are gonna show for the last time why they're the Kings, and if they beat the Lakers, they're going to make a statement, especially if LeBron James is playing in this game. This should be an easy game for them to win. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout and that's the end of the basketball game. And the Kings do get blown out at certain times, but then the Kings also win basketball games that nobody predicts or expects or figured they would do. So this is going to be one of those games where the Lakers will win 107 to 102, or the Kings 195. Like I said, this is a game the Lakers can actually win. It's an easy matchup. They ain't got no excuses for not playing offense and defense. They have no excuse for playing in the backcourt and running in transition. If they lose this game, it's because they just want the season to be over with, and that's not the right mentality to have when you're trying to pursue an NBA championship. The right attitude is win the games in the season, even if it's 2 or 3, tough it out, and then you can get that 2 break before August 17th come up and the playoffs come. So this should be a winnable basketball game for the Lakers. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, and I'm not saying the Lakers are just going to dominate the Kings and the game's going to be over. What I'm saying is this is a game that they could actually win because it's an easy matchup. That don't mean LA Kings is going to make a comeback in the game and try to contest every basket and play tight defense on the Lakers, because the Kings are. They may not be going to no playoffs, but if the Kings win this game, they would have made a statement. So for the Kings, it's a statement game. For the Lakers, it's a sense of urgency. Just win the game so the season can be over with. That's how you should look at it.